Hey everyone, holy shit. As if I didn't already realize that the Trudeau Liberals were just a bunch of, it's as if some drunken sailor was handed an unlimited credit card and sent to the local strip club. Wow. Talk about reckless spending. And a lot of it is done to simply buy votes because they know the 2019 elections are fast approaching. Headline of the National Post: residents near U.S. border in Quebec to be paid up to $25,000 for asylum seeker disruption. Bill Blair. Life along the previously sleepy Roxham Road has been disturbed and residents deserve to be compensated, Border Security Minister Bill Blair said. I mean, this fucking Bill Blair guy, I mean, come on, this was Toronto's police chief, right? The guy that was in charge of fining and imprisoning and destroying the lives of I don't know how many Ontarians for, smoking a plant, growing a plant, or distributing a plant to someone else, like marijuana, prior to legalization. Bill Blair was once again, like I say, criminalizing a whole lot of Canadians and destroying their lives or their livelihoods or their potential prospects for gainful employment in the future. And now he's, once again, now that it's legalized though, but once again, you can show these people have no moral compass whatsoever because he was more than willing to do that to people, but now that it's legalized, well, he's jumping in and getting in on the marijuana action because he wants his cut. Like I said, these people have no morals, they have no scruples. They're authoritarian hacks. A lot of them are sociopaths, definitely control freaks. But yeah, like I say, these are the worst of the worst of the worst in Canada. Those are the people that are now gravitating towards these positions of authority because the good people don't want nothing. Like I say, once you're on that fast track race to the bottom, yeah, the good people, they try to avoid it like the plague, which is why you're seeing the worst among us having the loudest voice and being the representatives of big government these days. And it has been that way for quite some time in this country, and it's only getting worse. This being reported by Mylene Crete from the Canadian Press, December 12th, 2018. Ottawa. Quebecers living by the Canada-United States border, where thousands of migrants have crossed irregularly into the country since 2017, will be eligible for payments of up to $25,000, the federal government announced Wednesday. Life along the previously sleepy Roxham Road, the main entry point for migrants entering the country on foot, has been disturbed and residents deserve to be compensated, Border Security Minister Bill Blair said. So your boss Trudeau creates the problem, and how you're going to remedy the solution or conjure up the solution is to, once again, forcefully economically enslave Canadians or the unborn. Like I say, it's the unborn at this point, folks, because like I said, you can't pay for all the debt obligations and entitlements and programs that these liberals or these collectivists have been putting forth and presenting. Like I say, they're so massive in scope that even if you taxed every Canadian to the tune of 100% of everything they bring in, you're still not going to be able to pay it off for decades. So no, this is going to be thrust upon, once again, the unborn. They're economically enslaving the unborn for this kind of nonsense, folks. I've been there. I've spoken to the residents. I've seen the level of activity of the RCMP, the Canadian Border Services Agency, and other officials that has impacted what is otherwise a quiet rural road, Blair told reporters. Once again, though, this is the fucking typical mindset of these authoritarian central planning hacks. When it's not their own money, like, look at how benevolent they can act when they're forcing someone else to pay and pony up. So that Bill Blair can come out and say, oh, I'm going to reward you, I'm going to compensate you. Oh, you're doing it, are you, Bill? Where the fuck? Let me see your wallet, man. Are you pulling that shit out of your back pocket? No. No, you're forcing me and everyone else, or like I say, the unborn at this point, to pony up, and you're going to try to act benevolent? Really? You fucking piece of shit. And I tell you it to your fucking face. Roughly 96% of all migrants who have crossed illegally into Canada since 2017 have done so at Roxham Road. The Federal Immigration Department says 16,000 people crossed the Canada-U.S. border illegally into Quebec through the end of October this year, and about 19,000 did last year. Bureaucrats divided the Roxham Road area into 3 zones based on proximity to the border. People living in the closest zone are eligible to receive up to $25,000. Those in the next closest, $10,000, and those in the third zone, $2,500. So once again, this is vote buying and completely wasting and squandering the productive wealth and income of the unborn at this point for what? For, once again, political pandering, and as some way, as some corrective measure to try to paint over the fact that it was Bill Blair's boss that created this whole problem to start with his tweet. Come on, anyone wants to come to Canada, don't worry, we'll take you. And yeah, they took you up on that offer, Trudeau, and now, I guess what? Your henchman's going to say, oh, well, Trudeau created the problem, and I'm going to fix it by forcing Canadians, or the unborn, to compensate these people down there for what? And that's another thing. What are these people down at the border doing? The fuck? Are these people breaking into their backyards? Are they going in their homes? Are they feeding them? If they are, if they're doing it voluntarily on their own fruition, then what the fuck do they need to be compensated for? If you're an idiot and you're feeding people that are crossing the border illegally, then you're an idiot and you shouldn't be getting one fucking dime. Matter of fact, why don't you sponsor them, bring them in your own goddamn house, and take care of them? Then they don't have to worry about, then the rest of us in Canada don't have to worry about doing it ourselves. Or being forced to do it. Because I'm not going to, like I said, I've never agreed to take care of any of these people. I do well to take care of my own fucking family and the people that I care about. I sure as shit don't want to be forced to take care of anyone else. Especially when they're crossing this international border illegally to get here. And what? Ooh, fleeing U.S.? One of the freest nations on the planet? Give me a fucking break. Anyways, I'll post a link to this article in the description of the video. But come on, like I say, folks, and I've been saying time and time again, these central planners, look, they're looking out there on the political landscape, on the atmosphere, and they're like, oh, I guess Canadians are very sheepish, very conformist. We might as well ramp up our efforts. We'll double down on our insanity because the Canadian people are, other than a very tiny minority of people like Bennett that are complaining, right? Other than that, I don't see any reason why we should stop doing what we're doing. Hey, we seem to be able to get away with it so far. And that's the message that you, or a lot of the Canadians are sending to these authoritarian hacks is, yeah, we're unwilling to stand up in defense of our rights or freedoms or our sovereignty. So these central planners figure, hey, if they're unwilling to defend their freedoms, well, let's do what we're going to do. Yay for us. What a sad reality I find myself stuck in these days, folks. Anyways, it's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.